Okay guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mechbay Dios. What I have here is a medium-sized dio that I completed a couple of days ago. I actually made this for a fellow artist in Facebook. He's actually a figure customizer, and we're actually swapping services. He's making me a custom Deadpool figure that I've been wanting. So that's what's up with this one. He originally mentioned that he wanted an Archway type dio. Actually, he saw one of my dio that I posted a while back, and so when he contacted me about possibly making him a dio, he referred to that, and he also mentioned that he's interested in the grandeur of the Archway, and he mentioned about the Grand Central Station in New York. You know how that area, that place have those arches design. The only difference is I think the color of those are more into the, I'd say, yellowish type color, and the same thing for the flooring. For the flooring of the Grand Central Station is kind of like a marble type paving, and it's has that white yellowish color. A lot of the times those kind of colors doesn't really translate very well in the dios. Same thing for white. White is one of those colors that is really hard to make it look really nice in a dio. So if I'm gonna make something with white, I normally try to limit the application. So in this case, I decided to make the initial Archway pattern as my painted it in white, and that actually came out pretty well. I like it a lot, and it gives a really good contrast between the gray color of the concrete column right here, as well as this kind of like concrete blocks archway, and transitioning to the color of the bricks. So as you can see in this video, I mean the color of the bricks really pops out, and that's one of the things that I want to do in my dio is try to use color and texture. So in a lot of the dies that I've been doing, that's one of the main features that I do. Colors, texture, and also depth. So like for example here, I played around with depressing some of these bricks, and it really translates really well. I mean, as you can see right here, I mean, it adds a lot of character to this brick wall right here, and it came out really nice. And I've been doing this in most of my brick walls, and I think I'm gonna be sticking to that style in future dioramas as well. But overall, I like how it turns out. Also, if if you guys are wondering how I made that, yeah, that depressed brick, I actually use this. I put down here. Yeah, so that's actually a template that I made out of the popsicle sticks that I have. So basically, I just cut this into the size of the brick that I normally do, and so I use this all the time. And basically, what I do is I just place it on a brick that I want to depress and press it down. And that's one of the best feature of working with this insulation foam, is that it holds shapes really well. So if you put some sort of patterns like what I did in here for this concrete column, it retains that pattern. So it's really good. And another thing that I did here, I think this is probably one of the first time that I actually used this vines or moss in my dios, and it actually turns out pretty good. So basically I just I just put some glue in there and added pieces of that kind of like dried I don't know, grass or something. I think I got it from the dollar store. I actually have the packet right here. So it's kind of like this right here. So I guess these are those little things that they use for floral arrangement. So I just bought that for $1. It's and turns out good actually. The only thing about that is the ones that I have is mostly in deep green color. So what I did is I actually came back and paint, do a little bit dry brushing using a lighter tone of green on top, just to add a little bit more depth. So as you can see, you can set a little light green in there, the same thing in there. It's a little thing, but like it adds a lot of character, and it adds a lot of depth to that. I mean, just look at that, it really brings it to life. Oh, and just for scale, I have my World of Nintendo Link figure in there, which works really well. And if you wanted to see how this dio works with a 6-inch figure, here's a figure of Dr. Doom. And as you can see, it works really well too. Oh yeah, and then the floor in this right here, I tried to mimic like granite type look, and it actually came out pretty good. It adds a lot of contrast between the white and the reddish brick color and that concrete column color. On top right here. The dimension, overall dimension of this dio, I'd say this is a medium-sized dio, and the dimension is 14 inches across, 10 inch deep and 10-inch high. So 14 by 10 by 10. And I'd say you could probably put 3 to 4 figures if you're gonna create a scene here. So if you're gonna do a scene, yeah, I'd say about 3 to 4 figures would be can fit comfortably. But if you're just gonna throw in a bunch of figures in there just for display, you can definitely put more than 4 figures in here. Okay, so this is the Archway Dio, and if you have any question, feel free to leave me a message, or you could email me at mechbay918@gmail.com. You can also follow my Instagram page, and I have a bunch of other pictures in there from my previous projects that I haven't really gotten the chance to take a video of, because I only started making a video pretty recently. I think this is the second video, the Dio video that I made. So if you want to see some of my older work, you could definitely check my Instagram page. All right, well, thank you for joining me on another episode of Mechbay Dios, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.